So check it out. Over the past few days, I've spent a lot of time meeting with game changers in my industry. Our conversations have been eye-opening and left me with the need to go even deeper into the issues we Latinos face in Hollywood. But if you know me and this show, you know that when we talk, we eat. ¿Qué tal? Qué placer. Un abracito.
Welcome to my place.
Tonight, my friends and I are eating here at Connie's Seafood, a Michelin-recognized Nayarit-style, family-run Mexican restaurant that has been in the middle of Inglewood since 1987. I know my homies and I are in for a real treat. Thank you for coming, everybody. Right. This is so exciting, bro. You don't even know how thrilled I am to see all of you here. For real. There's a popular word in Latin America, sobremesa, that describes that moment when we gather at the dinner table to share what's on our minds. And for this sobremesa, I brought together the future of Latinos in the film industry. Charisse Castro-Smith is an amazing writer, producer, and the first Latina to ever co-direct a Disney animated film. She did that with Encanto. Victor Razuk is one of the industry's top young Latinx actors, with shows like The Baker and the Beauty and How to Make It in America. Carolina Garcia is the director of original series at Netflix and one of the few Latinx executives who can make decisions that will affect representation. And Clayton Davis. This guy right here is a senior awards editor at Variety, and he covers all things Hollywood. I love that he's always keeping everyone checked with all the stats that uncover the inequity in this industry. I invited you all because I want to deal with one topic here, and that's Latin representation in Hollywood. I know you all come from different aspects of it, which is so great. So let's talk about representation. Well, how has it been being a Latin woman writer, director in the biz?
It was funny. When I was a little kid, I used to watch TV and movies and everything, and I thought, maybe they just don't know we exist, right? Like, maybe they just haven't heard of us. And then I realized that it wasn't necessarily they didn't know about us, it just maybe they didn't know how to tell our stories, right? And so that's what I have spent my career trying to do, is tell those stories and get them out there.
You're an exec, so I want to know what your point of view is. What do you think we Latin people aren't put on networks, streamers, television? Why we're missing?
To your point, like, there are so many different experiences of being Latino. And the people who have been making decisions historically haven't necessarily come from an immigrant experience or a Latino experience.
Right,
and so we've been put in a box, right? Because that's what people are comfortable knowing as Latino.
And when I was growing up, we were only drug dealers.
That's right.
Or help.
Yeah.
Or the help. Yeah.
On a good day. Like, you never saw a Latino as a doctor, as a lawyer, or even as a princess, right? Like, we didn't have those hero roles or even those everyday roles.
I feel that, playing devil's advocate, if I sat back here and I said, hey, you know, things are the same how they were when John was young, I'd be lying, because I know you specifically have opened the doors for me, and like, and so, and I love that we collectively want more, because we know what we are as a people. We know what we can bring. Now, do we want to see more and bigger? That's why we're all sitting here, and I totally see that. But my question to you is, have you seen the changes from when you first started to now?
Definitely improvements, but it was minuscule, bro. And until Black Lives Matter and COVID hit, the studio system realized, from all of us speaking out, all of us, and giving stats, why are we missing? Because it's not lack of trying or talent, it's lack of access.
Yeah.
Because we're not in the pipeline. White shows, white movies, white plays are in a pipeline. Hundreds of stories being developed, half of them don't make it, 3/4 of them get canceled, but they're allowed to fail. It's only like one-off, like myself, Lin-Manuel, Charisse, creating our own stuff and forcing it through.
But unfortunately, what happens is we put all our hopes and dreams on the shoulders of a John Leguizamo, a Lin-Manuel Miranda. Everyone that gets a shot at it, we're like, please, like, represent for all of us. You can't get 500 million people represented in one piece of content. We hold each other to this impossible standard.
And, like, that's not fair to anybody.
Because white people get to fail big time all over the place and fail upwards. We don't get that. I want to have big fucking failures on camera and still keep going.
That's right.
Uy, ay, qué viene. Uy. Oh, man, that's beautiful, man.
That's my signature dish. It's a robalo that comes from Mazatlan, Sinaloa.
Perfect.
And we have langostinos here, the baby lobster, and borracho drunken shrimp over there.
I think we have to take a little bite.
Okay, so since we're grubbing, right? I'm gonna tell you the 17-year-old Victor who approaches John throwing out his garbage. Let's talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. Because I even want to know if he even remembers.
I remember, I totally remember.
You do remember?
When I saw this kid, I was like so happy because you were a brother with brown skin. And I was so glad that you had those dreams and that you felt like you could do it.
Yeah.
Because you know this colorism thing is so real. I mean, they cast white Spaniards who are not Latin as Latin people.
Yeah.
And we all know we let it go because we were so hungry to see any kind of representation, even if it wasn't us.
Yeah.
Now I want only Latin people playing Latin roles and Latin roles being told by us. And I want Latin people who look more like Victor.
Yeah.
More like you.
I remember one of my first articles I wrote at Variety was, I was like, let me start from a basic standpoint. I celebrate Penelope Cruz and Antonio Banderas and Javier Bardem. I celebrate like, I love them.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about representation, that's not what I'm talking about. And it's been infuriating to continuously have the same discussion about when a person that is non-Latino gets a Latino role.
I know where you're going at.
Most notably, James Franco cast as Fidel Castro.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable in today's times. For so many years, they've been taking our stories. I mean, I love Brando, but playing Zapata with brown face and wide nostrils, you know, it's just enough of that nonsense. And I don't care if you're Portuguese from Portugal or Spaniard, you're not Latin. Your parents had to have been born in Latin America, or you have, and we're mostly all mixed race.
That's right.
How does this white guy feel like he can speak for the Latin community, for Latinidad? I just don't get it.
When we have real equality, then everyone can play whoever they want.
Beautifully said, beautifully said. Hey, everybody, it was so great to have you here. I'm so glad to have you as allies, as colleagues, as activists in this battle. I mean, I'm a lucky man, I feel.
Well, John, thank you for heading the ship too, man. So we got to thank you as well.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you.
The road here has not been an easy one, let alone a fair one. But if there's something all these stories have in common, it's the willpower Latinos have. So for all the doors that continue to be slammed in our faces, or the ceilings that keep being raised, there's true power in continuing the fight until the day that Hollywoodn't becomes Hollywood.